Big news on the table tonight, folks. Huge, massive news. Should affect you to the very core of your being because of the way things have been going on. Apparently, and I'm going to quote this article from the Telegraph.uk, ClimateGate, the final nail in the coffin of anthropogenic global warming. Now that's all that nonsense that Al Gore has been talking about. And what this article is about is that a hacker hacked into the CRU. And I guess that's one of the biggest, it's climate research university or something of that nature. But it's the hugest climate research place, one of the largest in the world. And they got all the scientists' emails that they'd been sending back and forth. And among the emails, it proves global warming to be a complete farce. It proves that they've been cooking the numbers. And there's emails in there that the hacker got and posted online, and I'll put the links to the article and then the links to the places online where you can go and view all the emails from this place. There's like 10,000 of them. Talking about them suppressing evidence, adding temperature to the temperatures since 1961 to make it appear that global warming was happening. And the charges that the newspaper is leveling against them and the general public at large is conspiracy, collusion and exaggerating warming data, possibly illegal destruction of embarrassing information, organized resistance to disclosure, manipulation of data, private admission of flaws. In other words, in private, they admitted that they're lying about it all. And folks, I know you're saying, oh, this is just the climate change, but the cap and trade bill, which is the climate bill, right? And remember, right, the Copenhagen Treaty, and I've heard some rumors that it's completely stalled, and this is why, folks, this is why. It's a fraud, but it created the world government. And let me tell you something, just because this newspaper came out, does not mean they're not going to stop what they're doing. Okay, they're pushing it harder than ever. It's my understanding cap and trade is up for a vote in the Senate, and if it passes, it's over for us, people. Over. That's another 36% of your income in tax, minimum. Plus, it allows people to come to your home and search your home, and it's all part of Agenda 21.
It's a 40-chapter document to basically control the world. It's based entirely on socialist control mechanisms.
Sustainable developers have designed a global movement, coordinated through a global to local action plan to create world government in accordance with certain objectives. These objectives include an end to national sovereignty, the abolition of private property, the restructure of the family unit, and increasing limitations and restrictions on mobility and individual opportunity.
People, if you don't understand where this is heading, I laid the pieces out for you. I laid them out there for you. If you can't see where this is going, you understand, right, that global warming is the excuse for clamping down on the economy, is the excuse for outlawing your way of life, is the excuse they're using to tear down our industrialism in this nation, to tear down our way of defending ourselves in this nation. This is their way to tax life, because life is bad. And if life is bad, then it shouldn't be lived. Population needs to be controlled because we're heating up, we're destroying the earth. If the foundation of the science is a lie, then and if they knew it was a lie, then this entire thing, this huge scam, has another purpose. The purpose is to destroy the family. The purpose is to take away your inalienable rights. They've set up their entire framework for world government around climate change. And so they're suppressing the real evidence, because if there's no climate change, then you deserve a raise, you deserve a job, you deserve your car, you deserve to keep what you have. They think that your private property should be taken from you. Their plan is to make it so expensive to own land that you can't, because the earth will die if you have your own home. I just don't know why you can't get that. And it's by treaty. I keep telling you it's by treaty. And it's the encroachment of Marxism. If you notice, all of the answers are collectivism. They're away from the Constitution. They're away from individual freedom. They're teaching you to agree by consensus. Because if they put you together in a group and lead you as a group, because one person will be there to lead you to a conclusion that they are already promoting. So if they can get you into groups to agree in groups to their preconceived conclusion by leading you there, they've led you to socialism. Different name. Socialism believes that if they needed to kill you for 10 people to live, they would, regardless of how good you were or whether you have done anything wrong. Karl Marx wrote of socialism as a way to take over the world and said that it could not work unless it took over the world. The UN and Europe are socialist countries. The UN runs that. UN isn't a socialist country. Its principles are socialist, environmental / New Age movement. All based on socialist principle. Obama is trying to put us under the control of the World Court. I have the article for that. This is another end run around the Constitution. The way the World Court works, if we join that, we still have our courts here and our local law. But by agreement, we agree to all the laws of the World Court if we sign on. Thereby, the World Court can then come and arrest you with a separate security agency and drag you away to be tried. Things that are illegal in the World Court: firearm ownership, disciplining your children, talking about any piece of your religion that may be offensive to someone else. And believe me, the gay activist community is offended by every word of the Bible. Because in the Bible, it explains clearly what God's view on homosexuals are. But not just that. In raising your children, if you ground your child under the World Court, that child is allowed to then go to the court and petition a lawyer. At your expense, you will have to pay for your child to sue you, whether your child wins or not. But your child could win. Say she posed on the internet naked at 14, and you grounded her from her softball tournament. She could sue you, and just like in Canada, they can say your punishment was too strict and then tell you to order her to softball or make you pay damages. That's what joining this court does. It is Marxism, people. And Marxism wants to take over the world. China is the Marxist country celebrated the most. And their defense minister put this out.
Like the United States, Canada, and Australia have the vast land to serve our need for mass colonization. Therefore, solving the issue of America is the key to solving all other issues. First, this makes it possible for us to have many people migrate there and even establish another China under the same leadership of the Chinese Communist Party.
That's the Chinese socialist defense minister talking about openly annihilating the population of the United States of America because they must have it. Not because they need it or want it, but that they have to have it. And he goes on to say that it rightfully belongs to them anyway, because they say they discovered America first. The UN is also socialist, and they have a socialist environmental new age agenda. You should make sure that the ammo shelves in every store you go in, you do your part to empty them, because there won't be a resupply, and you will need them to fight what's coming. You're going to need 6 months worth of food because they are coming. Their framework of global warming is a proven hoax now, but they've used it to set up their frame for world government. They're not going to give it up. They're going to kick it into high gear. They can't afford anything else to happen. You better wake up.
Also being fired from AK-47.